Hey guys, good morning. It's Tuesday and it's May 19th. It's 2020. We're back. Tool Tuesday. Welcome back. Before we get started on today's tool, let's go ahead and check in with ourselves by using our breathing tool. Remember, you can say the breathing tool tagline in your head. I calm myself and check in. You guys ready? Okay. Last one. All right. Good job, you guys. So, we are back here for another lovely, wonderful tool. You guys will see Rory's in the background. He woke up early this morning with me, and so he's just going to hang back there and play with some Legos while we go over today's tool. But let's do our quick feelings check-in. So I actually have some different feelings this morning. And I'm curious if anybody has gone through this themselves. I, last night, had, oh my gosh, I don't know how many nightmares. I want to say like 3 or 4. And it just like kept happening. Like I would have a nightmare, wake up, and then fall back asleep, and then have another nightmare, wake up, and then fall back asleep, and then have another one. And it was like all night, it felt like. And so I didn't really sleep great, but I also woke up with this feeling. Do you guys know what this one is? If you look at his face, you can probably tell he is scared. Yeah, so I woke up several times with this feeling, and I don't feel scared in this moment. I'm not afraid that these nightmares are going to like come to life and actually happen in my life, but I don't want to have them anymore. They gave me a lot of big scared feelings, and I did not like it. And because I didn't really sleep great last night, I actually am having this other feeling that's making it kind of hard. It's been making my morning really, really challenging. It's this guy. Do you guys remember this one? This feeling is frustrated. That's a big word. So I'm frustrated. I'm kind of like irritable is like another way to say it. I feel like all the little things are kind of getting to me. And so what I don't want to do, because this is a very yellow zone feeling and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. I actually have my reboot jar close to me today, and I'm probably going to like pull a couple of reboots out of there at some point, because when I have mornings like this, it's normal. And I just have to listen to myself, and I have to know what I need to get out of the yellow zone and not feel this way, and not let this feeling turn to mad, and not let my mad feelings turn into mean behaviors. Because it's really easy to do that. Right, Rory? Mm-hmm. See? So I don't want to do that. So I've got some work to do today because of my big, hard feelings. What about you guys? How are you feeling today? Right now is a really good time to turn and talk with your family. Share how you're feeling and why. How has the day treated you so far? If you're by yourself, then obviously now is a good time to take out your journal, tell yourself how you're feeling and why, or start an email and send me an email. So go ahead and press pause and do that now. All right, good job. So welcome back. Like I said, it's Tuesday, so it means it's Tool Tuesday. And the tool that we are going to go over today is a whopper, you guys. This is a big tool. This tool, it's so important that if you don't use this tool, or if you don't practice this one, it's going to make doing other tools 10 times harder. It's such an important one. So let's just get right into it. Today's tool from my toolbox is the listening tool. And the tagline for the listening tool, it's a really good one. It's, I listen with my ears, eyes, and heart. Whew. Let's break it down. There are multiple levels of listening. And I mean, what does it even mean to listen, right? Most of us think that listening is simply hearing, using your ears to hear somebody. But it's not just that. Listening is so much more complex. There's so much more to listening. And that's why I really appreciate this tool, and I practice this tool really hard. In fact, my job, what I do as a school counselor, 90% of it is my listening tool. I use this multiple times every single day. So let's break down what it is. But first, what is the hand gesture for it? The tool for the listening tool is actually your hands, like your fingers. And what you'll see in this picture is that you see it has like little movement there. It's because he's tapping with his fingers. And carpenters, before there were these things that were called stud finders, carpenters would actually tap with their fingers on a wall to try to find the stud in a wall, because they don't want to bust into a wall, or if they try to like hang up a picture and they're finding that it's hard to put it into the wall, they'll find that, oh, the stud is right there. I'm not a carpenter, so I don't know the ins and outs of why it's important to find a stud, but what I do know is that is actually how some people still do find studs with their fingers. But what they have to do, they can't just tap it and then the tap tells them. It's listening. They have to listen to where the stud is. So that is why this is the hand gesture. And so I didn't pull a tool out of my toolbox because the tool is your hand. And I actually, when I was teaching this to some kindergartners this year, I've only taught this tool to kinders this year. So if you're not a kindergartner, I'm excited that you press play because this is the first time you're hearing about the listening tool. But I like to actually put my listening tool by my ear because it almost reminds me of an ear, like it's reminding my ear. So I used to do this, but the more I learned about the listening tool, the more it made sense to me that actually the thing that you're mainly tapping into is your heart. You're tapping into your heart to listen to whomever's talking, whether it's your parents, whether it's your teachers, whether it's your friends, or most importantly, to yourself. I mean, there's so many levels of listening, right? So think about, why do we listen to our parents? Why do we listen to our teachers? Why on earth do we listen to our friends? Because why not? We listen to our parents because most of the time they're trying to keep us safe. Most of the time our parents are helping to teach us a lesson. Most of the time our parents are sharing really great things with us, and they're saying things to us that really matter and we want to hear them. Why do we listen to our teachers? Because they're there to help us. When they're talking to us, it's because they are teaching us and they're giving us direction, they're giving us the tools, they're giving us whatever we need to complete something and to learn something. Why do we listen to our friends? Because they're our friends, because we care about them. And they might be coming up with a really cool idea, they might be sharing something important to them, or they might just be telling you what's on their mind. And it's important to listen to that. And why do we listen to ourselves? There's a reason we have that voice in our head that tells us things, right? Just like all of our feelings, they all have a reason for being there. We should be listening to ourselves. We should be hearing what our mind is saying. Sometimes when we speak to ourselves, it's not always the nicest. But sometimes when we talk to ourselves, we hear really great things and we're able to reflect on what it is that we're doing. But what I love the most about this tool is how it encourages you to engage in listening, not just with your ears. So to break down the tagline, I listen with my ears, eyes, and heart. We obviously use our ears to listen, right? I actually have some ears here. So we use our ears to listen. Because our ears are the things that actually hear what a person is saying. We use our eyes to look. I only have one eye, so I don't want to. But we use our eyes to look at the person, because when our eyes are in contact with the person who's talking, it definitely makes it easier for us to stay engaged and to stay focused, but it also tells that person that you're there, that you're present, and that you're listening. But the last one, which is the most important piece to all of it, is, what is it? Your heart. We listen with our heart. And when we listen with our heart, we're listening with empathy. We are listening because we care. We're caring about what the person is telling us. So our eyes are able to listen by looking at a person's body language and by looking at how a person's face is presenting itself. We can tell when a person is sad. And somebody can tell us how they're feeling without us having to hear them because we're listening with our eyes, right? But then we can also listen with our ears, and when we listen with our heart, we take it in an even more empathic and kind way. When you listen with your heart, you are fully engaged. But one way that they break down what it means to listen is by defining the difference between hearing someone and listening to someone. So, for example, I'm going to give you two different phrases, and I want you to maybe think about what is the difference between the two. So, phrase number one, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay? Phrase number two, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. So think about what's the difference between I can't hear you and I'm not listening to you. Very different, right? So listening is not only hearing. Listening is hearing with your ears, seeing with your eyes, and caring with your heart. Once you understand the basics and the foundation of this tool, it does become easier. When you're sitting with someone and they're telling you about their day and you're like zoning out, maybe you're looking at them, maybe you're hearing like every other word that they're saying, but your heart is somewhere else. Your heart's not facing them, it's facing somewhere else. That's not listening. Or if you're angry and somebody's talking to you and you hear what they're saying and your heart, yeah, it's facing them. Sure, I'm facing that person. My eyes are looking at this person, but as they're talking to me, I'm coming up with how I'm going to respond. They're telling me how they feel, and I'm saying in my head, oh yeah, well, I'm going to tell you that I feel this way. I'm going to come up with this excuse. That is not listening. That is only, I guess it's kind of listening to yourself, but it's not listening to the person that is talking to you. And why do we listen? Like I said, we listen to our parents because they have something to say, but also because it's the respectful thing to do. Why do we listen to our teachers? Well, because they're going to teach us something, but also it's the respectful thing to do. It's respectful and kind. Why do we listen to our friends? Because they're our friends and they say funny things sometimes, but also it's the respectful, kind thing to do. So if you are listening to a person, but all you're really doing is looking at them and hearing what they have to say so that you can come up with something better, that's not listening. That's not the respectful, kind thing to do. So, a couple of different activities that you guys can do today. I mean, this is sort of a hard tool to teach just through video. I feel like I need some students to engage with me, and I feel like this is one that you have a lot of discussions and you practice. One of the things I would encourage you to do, if you can, is get somebody in your family to sit down with you, and you can either sit in chairs or sit on the couch, but like face each other. You can even sit crisscross applesauce on the floor and just face each other so that your hearts are facing one another. And then what you're going to do is you're going to maybe set a timer for, 1 minute, and have the person in front of you, it's probably your family member, tell you their dream vacation. What is their dream vacation for just 1 minute? Have them talk. No, and you cannot respond. You're sitting there and you are engaging with them, showing them that you're listening with your eye contact. Maybe you smile, maybe you nod your head. This is me reacting to somebody telling me their dream vacation. But show them with your body language that you're listening for 1 whole minute, but do not respond. And I want you to be conscious of what it's like to simply listen, to hear what they have to say, to see with your eyes how they're feeling about it, and to feel with your heart what it means to them. I want you guys to do that for just 1 minute, and then you guys can switch, and then you can share your dream vacation, the place that you want to go more than anywhere and why. And then maybe after, you guys can share and talk about what did it feel like to sit and just listen. What did it feel like to be able to sit there and be listened to? You'll tell the difference between having a conversation with someone and constantly being interrupted to hear their opinion, or having them look away for a while and not really look like they're paying attention. You'll tell the difference between someone who's actively listening to you with their ears, their eyes, and their heart versus somebody who's not using their listening tool. So that's one activity that you guys can try. I also think that a really fun thing to do is, well, actually, I kind of feel like maybe that's enough. Just do that activity today. And you know what? It might feel awkward if it's with family members, because normally I would do this activity in your classroom, and I would pair you up with somebody in your class, and you guys would talk, and maybe you don't know that much about your classmate, and so it's kind of fun to hear, like, what is their dream vacation? So if you have a different topic, a fun topic that you would rather discuss, try it. But the point of it is, give that person 1 full minute to talk. And you, for 1 full minute, use your listening tool to the fullest. Use your ears, your eyes, and your heart to listen to that person. And then for my journal today, I actually drew eyes, ears, heart, even though the tagline is ears, eyes, heart. I did that backwards. But I just did a little simple journal entry, and I literally just talked about what it feels like to have somebody listen to me. Because I actually did this activity with my husband, and I told him I want to practice this. Ooh, cool. You want to show them? He just built, who is that, Rars? Who is
Black Widow and with lightsaber.
Oh, Black Widow with a lightsaber. I mean, mashup of two really cool Disney movies. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. So in my journal, I just wrote about what it felt like to be listened to for 1 full minute, and also to listen to somebody for 1 full minute without responding, and just like hearing what they have to say, noticing what they looked like, and noticing how I cared about it, you know, how fun it was to listen to them. So do that, guys. This is a big tool, but it's a great one, you guys. There's so many layers to listening. I could go on. And if I was in the classroom with you, you guys know I would. And I have so many other fun activities that we will do in the fall to learn more about the listening tool. But you know what? I think for today, that is a really good start. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we'll do a little work on it Wednesday activity. We will work on listening and not just talking over everybody all the time. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me for another Tool Tuesday. Please work on your listening tools. You guys can all listen with your ears, eyes, and heart. And have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Work on It Wednesday. Stay happy, stay healthy. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Rory, say bye. Rory, bye.